cold winter day in February at Cedar Point. Frigid winds and crazy enthusiasts, and a towering spike looming over all the events as they transpired throughout the day. Winter Chillout 2024 was a chilling good time with a lot to explore, behind the scenes tours, and getting to see some new 2024 plans before the season.
Now, before we get into it, we did lose our audio from the day, so that is why we are doing a voiceover here at this cold, windy event. It's a couple of good things about this, obviously, are the donations help a kid again. They said they raised over $100,000. I believe it was somewhere like $108,000, which was pretty
awesome.
amazing. All of the proceeds went to a kid again, so fantastic job by all the volunteers at Cedar Point. And of course, we got our first up-close views of Top Thrill 2.
So our first stop was in the laundry room. They told us about all of the processes and all of the off-site facilities, plus the one on grounds. They do over 3 million pounds of laundry at the park in these massive, massive machines. They have 3 shifts and they work 7 days a week there. It's crazy. They even have a machine that folds your sheets.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool processes that they showed us in there. And of course, we got to see how they do all the stuff behind the scenes with getting uniforms done, the maintenance workers. They discussed basically they clean everything and anything that you can think of. On our second stop, we got to talk to the laborers and the crews who maintain the flowers throughout the season, and they got to go over all of the processes, how they come in before or after park hours and replace or trim and prune different flowers throughout the park, so everything stays maintained and looking great as you're riding the Sky Ride looking over the Midway. We also got the first look at this year's Midway flower design for Top Thrill 2, which was really cool. We got to talk to them about how they're going to do this, what kind of plants they're going to use, how are they going to get this black color out there, which they did say they're going to use probably a darker hued purple, like a very, very deep purple. But it was a pretty cool process. We got to talk to them about how they're going to implement this, how long the time frame takes from inception, when they get this project idea to when it will actually be done. It was a pretty cool thing, and I was pretty excited going in there. We got to see tons of old ones, too. I mean, we saw Maverick, cool. We saw the Ferris wheel. There was a Val Raven one. There were so many different ones from over the years.
Yeah.
So speaking of them was pretty cool because they're kind of the unsung heroes of why the park is so beautiful.
Yeah, they do. They maintain that park absolutely, like, with a fine-tooth comb. He even said, like, if there's a plant that was dead the night before, you might not realize it, but they literally will have that changed before we open up in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. And then they discussed some of their favorite designs over the years, and then kind of talked about the inventory and how they have some flowers on stock towards the middle or end of the year just in case things go wrong, but they usually do a pretty good job at just maintaining the flowers once they're planted, which I found to be pretty fascinating myself. I don't know how you can possibly do that, so credit to them. That is pretty awesome that they maintain the flowers throughout the whole entire season for the most part and replace as little as possible. And they did talk about how they go through different vendors as well, so that was a pretty cool experience, guys.
So our third stop was at the maintenance building, and when we walked in, the first thing we saw was the old Mantis operating booth and ride controls. Super, super cool.
Yeah, it was, and then we got a chance to see all the wheels for the roller coasters, including the new Top Thrill 2 wheels with the Zamperla stamp on them, and yeah, the Swiss cheese design looks pretty cool on these wheels. My mother even got to hold a wheel, so why don't you go ahead and tell us about that experience?
Those things are so heavy, 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 but super, super cool. And I didn't even hold like one of the heavier ones.
No, I believe you were holding one from, what was it? Was it an Intamin wheel or something like that? One of the old Intamin wheels?
Yeah, it was an
something
Intamin.
along that. So it was pretty interesting, but nonetheless, that Zamperla wheel is massive, everybody, and I don't think people quite realize. I mean, it's the size of this lady's like whole entire upper body. It's incredibly huge. These wheels look big on the trains as well. So yeah, the maintenance shop was pretty cool. They discussed how they get to maintain these wheels over the course of a season. That big steel one you see right there, I get you guys can't guess which coaster it's from, but it's actually Snake River Falls. It's not a coaster, it's the water ride. And it's one of the heaviest wheels at the park, weighing almost 50 pounds, which is just insane to me. It was pretty cool getting to talk to them about all this, seeing the trains taken apart throughout the station. I mean, we got to see the Cedar Creek Mine Ride. We got to see Magnum, the greatest coaster in the park still to this day.
Woo, woo.
even Maverick over to the side, which was pretty cool. What do you think about seeing all this?
I thought that was really, really cool, but I am going to go back to the wheels and touch on this. They send their wheels out once all that coating on the outside wears off. So they send them back and they get all recoated and redone. And when they bring them back, there's actually a notch that's put inside of the wheel well so that they know how many times they've been sent out in their lifetime.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff that the maintenance team was telling us about. Obviously, as we were looking at the trains, they were answering different questions for us. And I mean, obviously, it's things that you don't really think that go into it. Even just the cleaning process that goes into this. Look at Maverick looking beautifully shined at this point now. And it's just like throughout the season, you see these get dirty and you don't really know what goes into it. So it's pretty cool getting all those answers. They obviously check all the sensors, the components on the ride, the wheels, anything that needs to be replaced, and they just send it out and get it done. And we got to see some Raptor trains in the parking lot, too. And Iron Dragon dangling there, not connected to any track.
So cool.
Yeah, that was definitely pretty cool. But obviously, we're getting closer and closer on this tour to the thing that everybody was looking forward to the most. And we were about to go walk over to the Top Thrill 2 construction site, everybody. So hang around for a minute. As we're getting ready to walk over there, you have this massive spike just towering over everything. So it was a really incredible thing. Where did we go for stop number 4?
So our stop number 4 was what everybody has been anticipating, Top Thrill 2 construction site. Let me tell you, like Jared said, going through the corkscrew tunnel area and whatnot, just seeing how massive this is and seeing just the whole station, it's incredible. Like, words cannot even describe it. It was so exciting. Everything pops over there.
Yeah, the color scheme really pops out. The blue is going to look really incredible. I think it's sweet how the exit ramp actually comes underneath the spike, and obviously you guys can see it there. But then we got to go to the Top Thrill 2 train site, which was the old hydraulic launch station for Top Thrill Dragster. It was pretty cool to get to sit in these trains with my mom. We got to get locked in and actually feel what it was going to be like. And obviously, the trains are super comfortable and accommodating for all size guests. So that's something we wanted to mention very quickly.
Oh, I absolutely loved the trains. Like, I can't wait to get on them and actually ride this ride. I'm so excited.
No seat belts, guys. We also spoke briefly with Michael Maney and Tony, but we lost all of the audio from those. So, I mean, for now, I guess it's just speculation for next year, but Michael did want to spill the secrets, and Tony was protecting everything. It was a good time.
And you did get the last question in at the Q&A.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Then we moved on to the sign shop, one of the best locations within the whole park. We even got a little sneak peek of Wicked Twister's sign. That was super awesome. It was one of the coolest spots of the entire tour, seeing all the old ride signs no longer in use or no longer at the park. We saw a Mean Streak sign just towering over next to the Blue Streak sign. We even got a sneak peek of the Wicked Twister sign, like I had just said, and showing you guys. It was fantastic seeing that. We didn't even realize we were standing next to it at the time.
There were just so many cool signs there, displaying ride stats, showcasing the history of rides and the significance of the park. Former signs such as the brightly colored and chipped one of Snake River Falls. The entire tour of this sign shop was one of our favorite parts of the tour, and it didn't stop with just those cool signs. We got to see Halloween's decorations. I mean, look at all this cool animatronics, their decorations. Things were moving, things were going. I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah, as you saw previously, we got to go through a walkway of all the spooky ghosts and skeletons and animatronics, but then we got to see some of the old signs, the cabins for the old Sky Ride there. And then we got to see some old disaster transport theming. The robot, everybody, it's still there, which was really cool to see in hindsight because you just don't know where all this stuff goes. We saw some of the old logos for the rides over the years. That was really cool to see, actually.
Yeah, that board was cool.
Yeah, everything just kind of changes. But at this point, like the Millennium Force station music is just playing in the background. You have old ride dispatches being played over the speakers, and then look, you get the old disaster transport robot doing his thing, still operating, still working. I've seen this on videos 100 times, so it was pretty cool to actually get to see this finally. I was excited. But then we got to go feed our buddies.
Yes, our buddy Churro and his brother was there. Oh my goodness, how adorable they are. I just love, love, love seeing Churro. He was making these cute little noises, begging for food from everyone. So, of course, we almost lost our group staying back to feed him over and over again.
Yeah, that was definitely the highlight of my day, was just feeding Churro. He kept making all these noises, so of course I had to get in there and give him like 2, 3, 4 handfuls of food when I could, you know. It was a good time hanging out with the barnyard animals. It took them forever to eat, obviously, so that's why we almost lost our group. I say that as I accidentally just kept giving them more and more food, everybody. So, you know where our priorities were lying. We're supposed to go walk through the Millennium Force tunnel next, but here we are over here feeding Churro. But the real fun was definitely our first ever Millennium Force tunnel walk, and we've seen people talk about these in past winter chillouts and seen the videos many times, but walking through there was just incredible. It's truly special. Being so close to this coaster, you go flying by it at racing speeds on so close to you. Being able to touch one of the most iconic coasters in the history of amusement parks and taking in the sheer size of that tunnel that you feel is like so short as you kind of just go through it.
I was amazed because as we were walking, I was like, wow, these are actually kind of long. And I'm like, they don't seem like this, but oh, wow, just amazing. I was in awe the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
The views were stunning, and hanging off a piece of coaster history is something I'll never forget. Intimate greatness and some of the coolest views of a coaster ever. Definitely up at the top of our experience. We had a blast walking through these tunnels, just talking about Millie and all of the fun rides we've ever had, all the gray out moments, the night rides, mayflies. It's hard to surpass this tunnel walk, and the team at Cedar Point outdid themselves again.
Yeah, it was just truly incredible. Like I said, the sheer size of these tunnels, like, you just go flying through them, so you don't realize just how big they are, and you don't really see how close they are to the ground. I mean, you feel it when you go by the station, but even then, you're kind of just like, it's not that close to the ground. No, it really is that close to the ground. And hey, just a little sneak peek here, guys, but I had the whole entire tunnel to myself. Check this out. The station and tunnel walks are pretty cool, though. It was cool seeing the lift stuff as you were walking by. But, guys, we got to go to the train maintenance stop next. I got to walk along Lake Erie Railroad, touching every single plank of wood in the distance near Millie along the 63-year-old railroad track is something not many can say they've had the chance to do. But guess what, guys? I did.
The train maintenance building was really cool as we learned the trains were quite old. I believe they said 103, 101, and 83, but we may be forgetting some of the numbers here. We did have an interview, and of course the audio cut out, so we lost all of that with the train maintenance team.
After all the behind-the-scenes tours and fun of the day, we got to go play arcade games for free. The park gave us these nifty little gift cards and had the game set on free mode, and you know, I had to go over there and make every single shot on the basketball game to get warmed up. For those who didn't know, Cedar Point's arcade has an awesome indoor putt-putt course as well, which was pretty fun to play on, and I really didn't expect that. Shooting baskets was really the fun part, though, in the beginning with my mom. We were just in there hooping. She kept saying, oh, yeah, he got his basketball talents from me, but as you see, she missed a few shots. Not many, though.
For my age, I did pretty darn good.
She was sinking everything, everybody, so, you know, it was a good time. Playing the basketball game was pretty fun. I caught her getting off the pony ride as well. That was super funny. But then, obviously, on the putt-putt course, you could just see me sinking some putts here, having a good time. I really didn't expect it to be that much fun. Then we went over and played some skee ball after. That was a blast. With our 30 minutes, we played a lot of games. My mom got on 2 rides, actually. She got to ride the race car, too, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, you can't go to the Cedar Point without getting on something to ride, right?
Right, yeah. And then, of course, you were killing it at skee ball. I'm not very good at skee ball, but it was a nice break between all the knowledge and taking things in. So that was a fun time at the arcade. After we left, we met a friend of the channel, TKM Coasters. We had a nice little moment filmed for him to describe his channel and give you all a lowdown on how awesome his content is, but we lost the audio and I felt awful after. Make sure you guys go to his channel and subscribe. He makes incredible no limits coasters, and for all of you, you may just see his creations for a park in the future. Thanks for talking with us. You and your dad were awesome, and we had a blast talking about our favorite coasters. His was Steel Vengeance, mine is Blue Streaker Magnum, but obviously Steve is the best coaster at the park. Moving on to the most fun part, though.
After all the fun and games and the behind the scenes tours, we got a chance to go see the first of the merchandise for 2024 season.
Woohoo!
With tons of new colorful coaster shirts for the rides like Raptor, Valraven, Iron Dragon, and Top Thrill 2, which, speaking of, is pretty darn nifty. From the hoodies to the jacket, the polo shirt, zipper pockets on hoodies, the amount of shirts to choose from, backpacks, and amazing game merch to win as well, such as the elephant, oversized Top Thrill 2 pillow, and blankets, and many, many others. They really knocked us out of the park this year.
Yeah, they did a great job. Tony had mentioned how amazing all of the merchandise was for the park, and he sure wasn't lying. Cedar Point reached deep in their bag and got some awesome vendors in there to bring the Top Thrill 2 ideas to life. None of this feels rushed or overlooked. The merchandise is simply amazing and seemingly priced the same as last year, so there's no increased prices either. The jacket looks pretty cool, and that one might be a little bit pricey, guys. And of course, they have patches, signs, posters, coaster cutouts, and so much more in there. Really, they did an awesome job with this. The Top Thrill 2 things that you can win at the games on the Midway are awesome. Some of these plushies in here, I believe he said the guy in red is purchasable to the left, not the right there, the one in the middle by the book bag.
The smaller one.
Yeah, and the other ones are all game prizes there, like the one in gray or the oversized elephant at the end or this little tiger looking guy here. But they had some pretty cool stuff. The coaster cutouts were awesome. They still got all their patches there. Everything's replenished. Mantis ones. They had some pretty cool nifty old ones as well in there. There was tons of stuff, so Winter Chillout truly was an amazing time and a wonderful event ran by amazing volunteers and people, and above all else, it was for a great cause.
Yes, it was for a kid again. That's what days at the amusement park are supposed to be like. Being a kid again. Letting life's stresses fade with the screams from the midways and just enjoying the moment with friends and families. And Winter Chillout delivering just this. An amazing experience with amazing people. Smiles, memories, and a great cause supported all in one.
Yeah, with the behind the scenes tours, all of the volunteer work, and ridiculously cold weather, none of this could have been possible without the team at Cedar Point. So shout out to them for bringing this event year after year, smile after smile, donation after donation. Yes, cold weather brings issues and problems that come up, and there were moments where it seemed too many people were there at once. But again, the park did an amazing job with what they had at Winter Chillout, and it was just pure smiles and memories made together here at Ghoster Coasters.
If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, we got everything Cedar Point and Top Thrill 2 for you. Special videos coming soon, and a spooky community of coaster ghosters who make all this possible just like you.
Smash that like button, it greatly helps the channel and spreads the awesome content to more people. Comment down below if you were there, if you'd ever go, and if you loved all the cool views that the park provided throughout the day.
As always, thanks for being a part of this spooky community and for coaster ghosting with Ghoster Coasters.
Have a Six Flags Day, everybody.
At America's Rock and Roller Coaster.
During the chilliest months.
Brr.
Who had the audacity to park next to us over there? There's two cars there and someone parked next to ours. With all of these cars in the lot. Can't believe this. This is absolutely insanity. All right, guys, we're at the end of Winter Chillout, and look who we ran into.
Hey!
CP Coaster Lover. That's what's up. Look at that spike in the background. Everybody just having a good old day. Look at that big. There it is. I found it. Big spike.